So here we get equation is dou t equal to minus t by m into c suffix b into dou I by dou t at constant b into dou p. So from the definition of susceptibility, so susceptibility xi equal to intensity of magnetization of specimen by intensity of magnetizing field I by B. And so the susceptibility of paramagnetic substance does not depend upon the field strength, so but depends upon temperature. According to Curie's law, the paramagnetic susceptibility xi of a substance is inversely proportional to the absolute temperature, that is xi proportional to 1 by T. So xi equal to C by T, where C is a constant. So from these two equations, I by B equal to, we can write C by T. So from this equation, I equal to C into B by T. So from this equation, what is the I value? CB by T. So this value substitute in above equation. I equal to CB by T. Substitute in above equation. So here we get dou T equal to minus minus T by M into C suffix B into dou by dou T. So what is the I value? CB by T. CB by T into dou B. So let T suffix I and T suffix F both are initial and final temperatures of specimen corresponding to the initial and final magnetic flux density B suffix I and B suffix F respectively. Then T suffix F minus T suffix I equal to minus T into M into C suffix B integration B suffix I to B suffix F dou by dou T CB by T into dou B. So T suffix F minus T suffix I equal to C by 2 into M into C suffix B into T into B suffix F square minus B suffix I square. Then we can write K by 2 C suffix B into T into B suffix F square minus B suffix I square. Then T suffix F minus T suffix I equal to, so here K equal to C by M. It's called Curie's constant per unit mass when field is switched off. So field is switched off means B suffix F equal to 0. So here we doing paramagnetic substance will once magnetized and once demagnetized. So B, this is the final in field. So final field when equal to 0. So Curie's constant K equal to C by M. Then T suffix F minus T suffix I equal to, we can write K into B suffix F square by 2 into C suffix B into T. So the negative sign in this equation indicates a fall in temperature in adiabatic demagnetization. Next, working of refrigerator. Working of refrigerator. Working of refrigerator. So how do you working a refrigerator? A machine used for producing low temperature. A machine used for producing very low temperature. A machine used for producing very low temperature below surrounding and maintaining an enclosure at that temperature is called a refrigerator. Next, in refrigerators we have two types. First one is vapor compression machine and second one is vapor absorption method. Vapor compression machine and vapor absorption machine. So in vapor compression machine, first one vapor compression machine. So in vapor compression machine, a machine maintains an adiabatic enclosure at low temperature. So the principle involved in the production of the low temperature by making a liquid evaporate rapidly under reduced pressure and circulating the evaporating liquid around the enclosure. So the liquid which on evaporation produces cooling is called refrigerant. So commonly used refrigerants are ammonia, commonly used for refrigerant, ammonia and sulfur dioxide SO2 and methyl chloride CH3Cl. Commonly we use it for refrigerant, ammonia, sulfur dioxide, methyl chloride and so on. So in large refrigerating plants, ammonia is used while in small refrigerators, sulfur dioxide or freon is used. So properties of this ideal refrigerant, properties of an ideal refrigerant. Ideal refrigerant. So we using refrigerants for ammonia, sulfur dioxide, methyl chloride. So for ideal refrigerant have some properties. What are the properties means? First one, the refrigerant should have low boiling point. Low boiling point and low freezing point. Low freezing point. Low boiling point and low freezing point. So it should be vapor at normal temperature and pressure. It should be vapor at normal temperature and pressure. Normal temperature and pressure. Next, third one. So it should be non-flammable, non-flammable and non-explosive, non-explosive and should not have bad effect. Should not have bad effect on the stored food material. On the stored food material. So it should have high thermal conductivity. High thermal conductivity. High thermal conductivity. And fifth one, the specific volume should be small in order to reduce the size of compression, and the pressure necessary to liquefy the vapor in condenser coils must not be very large, otherwise the operators will have be very heavy. So first one is the refrigerant should have low boiling point and low freezing point. Low boiling and low freezing points, and it should be vapor at normal temperature and pressure. Third one, it should be non-flammable, non-explosive, and should not have bad effect on the stored food material. It should have high thermal conductivity. So the latent heat of vaporization of the refrigerant liquid must be large. So when a small quantity of liquid evaporates, a large amount of heat is removed, and so the cooling will be more. So the specific volume should be small in order to reduce the size of compressors. So the pressure necessary to liquefy the vapor in condenser coils must not be very large, otherwise the operators will have to be very heavy. These are the properties for refrigerant.